Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Lapland. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. It really means a lot. Before we get into the actual speed build, what I wanted to do was give you a bit of an overview, a bit of a rundown of what the vision is really for this park. Because unlike my other series, Dudley Zoo, which is a complete kind of recreation of an actual zoo that I think a lot of people seem to know about. This is a totally kind of, building from scratch type thing. It doesn't exist. So I wanted to give you a bit of an overview of the kind of vision really of where I want this to go. So it's kind of a combination of a few things really. It's things I have seen online, or when I've been looking to book maybe like a few days away in December, that kind of thing. So things have just come across that I thought would look quite cool that I'd like to try and make in the game. The another thing is it's stuff that I've actually experienced. So traditionally every December in pre-COVID, myself and my partner would book a cabin in the forest kind of just before Christmas and have like our own separate Christmas together, because we live apart and our families do different things. So it's a chance for us to have our own Christmas, and I want to kind of incorporate some of my experiences from doing that in the game. So like log cabins that you can book in the middle of the forest type thing, that sort of stuff. And then also just kind of some ideas that I think would be quite cool. So those kind of three elements hopefully will kind of come together and create a park that hopefully you enjoy watching being built. And then when I upload this to Steam, you can kind of explore it and experience it for yourself really. So that's the idea. I also love the idea of kind of building it from a guest perspective of really having that sense of wonder and mystery around it. So if I take the entrance, for example, into the park, this is quite dense forest, which has been done on purpose so that before you even get into the park, you can't see it. There are areas where you can sit down and just chill out in the forest. So you can kind of just explore this area, but then to get into the actual park itself, the first glimpse you have of anything is here, and this is the entrance exit building of the park. So as you come around this corner, that's the first glimpse you have. There will be forest here, kind of hiding the mountain area, I suppose, but it's to kind of hopefully give you that sense of, oh wow, that's really nice. That's quite cool. And you're walking through this thick forest, kind of almost exploring it on your own, and then you come across this this cabin, and this would, like I said, this would be the entrance and exit building. So you kind of come through here. This would be the kind of gift shop area, so there'll be shelves and things with gifts and like toys and stuff on there. This is where you can book tickets for, say, like, I don't know, like excursions, or just book pay entry into the park, get general information, that sort of stuff. You have your toilet through here, and then here you have kind of like your eating area, which looks out into the forest, and is also kind of like a chilling out point at the front end of the zoo. So you've got this like kind of like log fire. You can just chill here and just have a really nice relaxing time, kind of enjoying the view of the forest and kind of whatever wildlife you kind of come across really. But then you kind of pass through the entrance, and then again this will be thick forest as well. I've mapped out sort of a meandering walk through, so the idea is that you have that kind of feeling of exploring the forest, going kind of walking through it, not just a straight line. It's not opening up straight away. You are in the middle of a forest, and the zoo's kind of been incorporated into it, and you're going to get a feeling of really kind of being out there in the middle of nowhere really. So this will all be thick forest. Then you walk up again, this will kind of be thick forest but kind of start thinning out a little bit, and then there'll be like a big open square, almost like a town centre sort of thing. So this will be where the main hub of the zoo is. and everything else will branch out from here. So in this location you will have, main information point, you'll have your main shops, your main eateries, that sort of thing. You'll also have chilling out points and stuff like that. So really kind of like the hub of the park. It'll be really open, almost like a clearing in the forest with a kind of big Christmas tree in the centre of it, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to try and do there. Then if we go left, this will be where most of the animals would be, over on this point here. And as I say, here the idea is that as you walk through, you can kind of explore in the forest. And when I've booked my cabin in the forest, you do get a feel of being, kind of in the middle of nature, and I want to try and get that feeling here. So the first kind of exhibit enclosure really will be the reindeer, and there'll be two sections to it. So there'll be the more traditional section where you can really see the animals. It'll be quite open, they can just chill out there and you can watch them and interact with them. The second half of it though will be kind of going through the forest, and the idea is that they can kind of walk wherever they want, and as you're walking through you get a real sense of being in the middle of a forest that has actual animals just kind of wandering around in it as well. So as you walk through you might catch a glimpse of a reindeer in the forest, and kind of get that experience, and that's what I wanted to try and do with the reindeer really. I think that'll probably be the easiest animal that I'm going to be using in this park that I can do that with, and also the one that probably makes more sense as well. So reindeer somewhere here, then we'll have like doll sheep, and then it'll go off then to Arctic wolves, grizzly bear, brown bear, polar bear, animals that kind of live in cold mountainous areas really, and the snow leopard as well will all be on this kind of left hand side. From here, where you can kind of see it branches off a little bit, there'll be kind of three sections. So there will be some Japanese macaques down here. I know they don't live in Lapland, but the idea is with this park is just pretty much any cold climate animal will be in this park really, from what I've found on the Zoopedia. So Japanese macaques will be down here. There'll be some sort of like hot spring area here, and that'll be incorporated into the macaque enclosure, because you've probably seen photos of the macaque just chilling out in the hot springs. I think it looks amazing, so I really want to try and replicate that in this area of the zoo, somewhere down here. Over here will be some sort of like adventure area, like a playground type thing. In the UK we have something called Go Ape, which is, if you ever go to like a forest, you'll find these in a lot of forest areas. And it's basically like an adventure playground. So zip wires, there's climbing through trees, there's bridges from tree to tree, kind of up in the kind of canopy area, and kind of takes advantage of the height of the trees and stuff. So I'll be trying to replicate that here. On the edge of the lake will be like log cabins that you can book for your time at the park. So although it's a zoo, it'll also be kind of like a place you can book cabins for, say like the weekend or a week, and that's where they'll be on kind of like that kind of lake side type thing. So as you're walking through you'll get glimpses of the lights in the background, which I think will be really cool. And again, that's the sort of thing that I've found when I've booked my cabins in December, is you don't really see anybody, but you do get the light shining through the trees, and it just looks really Christmassy and really nice. So I want to try and replicate that. And then kind of for the rest of the park up here, the forest will really start to thin out somewhere around here, and what you'll have is like a Santa grotto area that you can go to. And in the game, this is kind of where you really start to see the northern lights kind of over here. So the aim is, when the forest is really thinned out, there'll be a viewing platform so that people can go and watch the northern lights. But also I have seen, when I've been looking at booking cabins and stuff, I've come across a few times these like igloos that you can hire in certain locations, particularly areas where you can watch the northern lights. And what they are is like it's like a glass dome above ground, and then the kind of main living area is kind of just below ground. So you get privacy, but you can also have a night time, just like watch the stars. You can watch the northern lights, that sort of thing. So I want to try and recreate that here. So it's not just a zoo; it is a place where it's something for everybody. So it's a zoo, it's an adventure playground, it's a relaxing place to just book a cabin in the forest, or somewhere where if your main kind of game is to experience the northern lights, you can book an igloo. So quite a lot to kind of get done in this park, but I think at the end it would be really quite cool and really kind of interesting to see how this all comes together. So that's kind of my vision of it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's an achievable vision? Do you think it's one that makes sense? Is it something that if it existed, would you want to visit it? Is this something that if this was an actual place to go, would you pay? I mean, I would. I think this would be quite cool. I'd love to book a cabin or an igloo at this sort of place. So, but then again, I'm kind of biased because I'm creating this, aren't I? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you've got any ideas or suggestions, again, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to kind of see what you think. And yeah, so that's kind of enough of me rambling on. I'm going to let you enjoy the speed build now. But before I go, just wanted to obviously say, Dudley Zoo Episode 3 is now on the channel, so please do and go and check that out. In that episode, we build a meerkat enclosure, and we also start to kind of bring that area to life a little bit. So go and check that out. I think it looks quite cool. I've had some really good feedback on that already, so it's well worth a watch. Episode 4 of Dudley Zoo will be out next Monday, and then the next episode of Lapland will obviously be next Wednesday as well. So do look out for those as well. Like, comment and subscribe as always, it would really help the channel out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.